The future of business belongs to those who adapt quickly and think proactively. To emerge successfully despite drawbacks from the last couple of years, you need a reliable partner that keeps a positive outlook of the future, understands the trends, and is able to elevate your business. A reliable partner that can help you reach your goals and keep your business protected. As pioneers of telecommunications in the country, Eastern Communications has always been the solutions partner of choice for the biggest and most successful industry players in the country. At Eastern, customers come first, our first motivation for innovation, and first in our mind to serve. Our customers are the answer to our why. We aim to create healthy and lasting partnerships by identifying their needs and placing their requirements in front of everything. At the end of the day, we want to give the best possible experience for our customers. We understand that our customers have unique needs. We put the human connection in everything that we do. Our heart of service is shown through our brand of personalized services. We offer the right solutions, choose the right talent, and work with only the best partners for enterprise, small and medium enterprises, and consumer needs. At Eastern, the industries that we serve always stay ahead of the game. Our high-tech and high-touch solutions allow us to view the world through our customers' eyes and provide them the most meaningful experience. Our data, internet, and voice solutions, which forms our connectivity solutions, provide you with reliable, congestion-free connectivity when and where you need it. Attacks can happen anytime and when you least expect them. But with our security solutions, your network, your data, and your customers' data are protected. Whether it's before, during, or after an attack, we are here to ensure that data risk and security measures are implemented. As we evolve with a fast-paced digital economy, it is essential to be equipped with the most up-to-date and secure cloud computing technology. Our cloud and data center solutions ensure that you have the resources to innovate faster, collaborate seamlessly, and serve your customers efficiently. To ensure that your company resources, the devices connected to your network, can efficiently communicate with each other and other networks and enable you to effectively conduct your day-to-day business operations, we have a healthy suite of products under our network solutions portfolio. Remote work is here to stay. And as this shift in work setup continues, the most reliable business applications should be adapted. With our business applications, your employees can work remotely and maintain their productivity and efficiency. Finally, as your business partners, we provide you with consulting, maintenance, and delivery services to make sure that you have the right solutions to address your business needs with our Eastern services. We have a long-standing commitment to keep a better connected and a digitally secure country. By constantly expanding our footprint, we are reaching and bringing our services to areas where our services are needed the most. We believe that hand in hand, we can forge a much brighter future. Together, let's emerge stronger. The future of business belongs to those who adapt quickly and think proactively. To emerge successfully despite drawbacks from the last couple of years, you need a reliable partner that keeps a positive outlook of the future, understands the trends, and is able to elevate your business. A reliable partner that can help you reach your goals and keep your business protected. As pioneers of telecommunications in the country, Eastern Communications has always been the solutions partner of choice for the biggest and most successful industry players in the country. At Eastern, customers come first, our first motivation for innovation, and first in our mind to serve. Our customers are the answer to our why. We aim to create healthy and lasting partnerships by identifying their needs and placing their requirements in front of everything. At the end of the day, we want to give the best possible experience for our customers. We understand that our customers have unique needs. We put the human connection in everything that we do. Our heart of service is shown through our brand of personalized services. We offer the right solutions, choose the right talent, and work with only the best partners for enterprise, small and medium enterprises, and consumer needs. At Eastern, the industries that we serve always stay ahead of the game. Our high-tech and high-touch solutions allow us to view the world through our customers' eyes and provide them the most meaningful experience. Our data, internet, and voice solutions, which forms our connectivity solutions, provide you with reliable, congestion-free connectivity when and where you need it. Attacks can happen anytime and when you least expect them. But with our security solutions, your network, your data, and your customers' data are protected. Whether it's before, during, or after an attack, we are here to ensure that data risk and security measures are implemented. As we evolve with a fast-paced digital economy, it is essential to be equipped with the most up-to-date and secure cloud computing technology. Our cloud and data center solutions ensure that you have the resources to innovate faster, collaborate seamlessly, and serve your customers efficiently. To ensure that your company resources, the devices connected to your network, can efficiently communicate with each other and other networks and enable you to effectively conduct your day-to-day business operations, we have a healthy suite of products under our network solutions portfolio. Remote work is here to stay. And as this shift in work setup continues, the most reliable business applications should be adapted. With our business applications, your employees can work remotely and maintain their productivity and efficiency. Finally, as your business partners, we provide you with consulting, maintenance, and delivery services to make sure that you have the right solutions to address your business needs with our Eastern services. We have a long-standing commitment to keep a better connected and a digitally secure country. By constantly expanding our footprint, we are reaching and bringing our services to areas where our services are needed the most. We believe that hand in hand, we can forge a much brighter future. Together, let's emerge stronger.
And we are live. A pleasant afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Reimagining Resilience e-Huddle series. My name is Apple Grace Mendoza, your host for this afternoon. Wow, what a great way to spend this beautiful afternoon with you all, mga ka-Eastern. So brace yourselves because you are in for a lot of treat today in learning and some fun surprises that we have prepared just for you. Now, last April 21 of this year, we had so much fun and learning with our speakers, talking about resilience and how we should all integrate this in our business processes. This very afternoon, mga ka-Eastern, we will once again tackle this topic from a different angle. So keep your energy high and listen carefully. And now I'd like to invite you all, mga ka-Eastern, to type one or a lot of exclamation points because I want to just see and check how everyone's energy level is doing right now. All right, so I'll be giving you some time. I know a lot of you guys are still warming up at this minute for our e-huddle this afternoon. And mga ka-Eastern, as we proceed with our program today, and when our speakers are sharing and presenting, please do leave your comments and, more importantly, your questions in our chat box. Our fellow ka-Eastern team will take note of your questions, and we will try our best to get those questions answered during our Q&A segment later on. Lastly, mga ka-Eastern, to make this an even more enjoyable and memorable session, we will be posting some questions in the chat box. So 10 lucky participants will get a chance to win 500 pesos worth of vouchers from Giftaway. And our winners will be announced in the chat box. So make sure, mga ka-Eastern, listen to this one. Make sure that your usernames are easily identifiable and it is the same name that you used when you registered for our e-huddle. All right, so on top of that, we have a raffle draw where we're gonna be, announcing the winners later on. Okay, so the raffle draw where everyone who registered has a chance to win amazing prizes. So mga ka-Eastern, where else would you rather be at this moment but right here, right? Okay, so we're not gonna keep this longer. Let's get this started. Here to welcome all of us, let us hear from the head of sales of Eastern Communications, none other than Mr. Michael Castañeda.
Thank you, Apple. Good afternoon to all our speakers and participants. Allow me to extend my sincere gratitude to everyone for taking the time to attend today's webinar. When we first conceptualized e-huddle at the height of the pandemic, we were heartbroken when we heard about the announcements of so many business closures and massive employee retrenchment. Our team moved fast. In the midst of the fear, isolation, and widespread hopelessness, we launched e-huddle with an aim to save what was possibly left in every enterprise, the people's spirit. Today, we take the e-huddle to the next level. We really cannot predict what lies ahead in the future. What Eastern Communications and our partners can commit to you is that we will never cease to look for solutions and emerging business models to provide meaningful learning that will support and benefit all of you. Oftentimes, you can feel devastated and shattered. But at the core of it all, we can build from within, huddle together, and emerge stronger and better. May each moment of the Reimagining Resilience series count because our goal in mind is for all of you to someday take the stand and share your success story. Thank you very much, and I wish all of you a great day. God bless us all.
Thank you so much, Sir Mike Castañeda, always, sir, for welcoming all of our Ka-Easterns today. And of course, thank you for reminding us always to keep our spirits up and forging ahead always, right, mga Ka-Eastern? Okay, so now it is time, after hearing from Sir Mike, it is time for you to meet our keynote speaker for today. Here to talk to us about building resilience one obstacle at a time, let us all welcome the Vice President for Operations of Topline Group of Companies. She's also Cebu Business Month's overall chairperson, an ambassador for Spartan Race Philippines, Rudy Project Philippines, Pearl Medical Aesthetics Plus Laser, and a proud mom. Let us all welcome her, Miss Brigitte Lim-Mueller.
Thank you, Apple, for the introduction. I appreciate it. And also thank you, Eastern Communications, for having me talk about building resilience one obstacle at a time. So this topic is very personal to me because especially in the last couple of years, we've had to go through the obstacle of COVID and also Super Typhoon Adet. So I'm really happy to share my experience about this. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brigitte Mueller, and I am the Vice President of Operations for Topline Group of Companies. So before I begin with the topic, I'd like to talk about Topline, our business. So when we first started, next slide, please. So Topline used to be Topline Business Development Corporation. So it's a holding company based in Cebu. So when we first started our business, we wanted to develop businesses. And so now that we have about 7 to 8 subsidiaries under us, we've changed our name to Topline Group of Companies na. So under these are Topline Marina, Topline High Tech, Transport, and Topline Energy. And we also have a couple of commercial retail developments in place as well. Next slide, please. So that's Bay Mall and Pier 88. Both developments are located in northern Cebu. So for Topline Marina naman, we handle vessel operations. So we wanted to expand on the marine highway in Cebu because we're all archipelagic, right? And so we have to expand to minimize traffic. So Topline has about 3 existing vessels right now, and we're building 8 more sea buses to cater to Cebu's transportation system. So for Topline High Tech naman, on the right side, we're automating the transportation system in Cebu, and we currently are serving Cebu South Bus Terminal about 100 buses and 6,000 to 8,000 passengers a day on the weekdays and about 10,000 to 15,000 passengers during the weekends. Next slide, please. So si Topline Transport naman is our fuel distribution and logistics subsidiary. And si Topline Energy is a subsidiary that came online last year, a couple of years ago, actually, before the pandemic happened. So we partnered up with Accelerate Energy, which aims to bring liquefied natural gas to the Philippines. So as we all know, si Malampay is depleting na. So the country expects Malampay to deplete by 2025. So this is our solution to that, to bring energy security to the country too. Next slide, please. Si Bay Mall naman, it's our commercial retail development project located in northern Cebu. So we're going to have retail stores, restaurants, and we're focusing on BPOs as well. And Bay Mall is also an accredited establishment. So, retail tenants, BPO companies will have PEZA perks as well. Next slide, please. And also one of the developments that we're really proud of is Pier 88, which is a commercial development port still located in northern Cebu. So Pier 88 was inaugurated by none other than our sitting Vice President, Inday Sara Duterte. And so aside from being a port which will service the marine transportation highway of Cebu, Pier 88 will also have a transportation hub that will cater to land transportation as well. Next slide, please. So these are several pictures lang. So si Topline Group of Companies, it's handled by my younger brother, Eric Lim, who's the president and CEO, and myself. So it's a family business. Next slide, please. All right, so aside from Topline Group of Companies, I'm also the Cebu Business Mobilization overall chairperson for 2022. Actually, this is how I met Eastern Communications and JV. And we've been very excited because Eastern Communications has been a longtime partner of Cebu Business Month and Cebu Chamber of Commerce. And so we're super excited to continue that partnership. Next slide, please. All right, so aside from that, I don't want you guys to think that I'm a super workaholic. So I also have interests. So I'm currently a Spartan Race Philippines ambassador because I love fitness and I think that's like an awesome outlet. And I love extreme sports like rock climbing and scuba diving, among other things. Next slide, please. And above everything else, I'm also a mom to a wonderful little 6-year-old boy who keeps me on my toes all the time. Next slide, please. So let's now go to our main topic, building resilience one obstacle at a time. So I think a lot of us take for granted the word obstacle, right? So when it comes to your mind, think of the first obstacle you're dealing with today. What is that? Is it something internal? Is it emotional? Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it something that has to do with your personal life or work? So it's important that when you think of the word obstacle, your response to that also determines your action. So let's talk more about this. Next slide, please. All right. So first thing, we need to define what an obstacle is. So obstacles are anything that hinders progress. And at the same time, it's anything that impedes progress or achievement. So anything that holds us back, personal, professional, internal, external, that's considered an obstacle now. Next slide, please. So there are different types of obstacles. So for me, there are external and internal ones. So the internal ones are anything that we can control. So those are our beliefs, our habits, our feelings, our behaviors, our thought patterns, how we respond to the obstacles we face in our daily lives. That's internal, and that's something that we can train ourselves and create a formula to respond to these obstacles. Next slide. Now, external obstacles are a little more tricky because they are things beyond our control, beyond our scope. So for example, natural disasters. So when Typhoon Odette happened in December, Cebu was devastated and we weren't prepared, when that calamity struck. So that was a very heavy obstacle that we all had to face as a community. But because of our resilience, because of, our drive to get Cebu up and running again, we overcame that. Another also is economic factors. So currently we're facing the war between Russia and Ukraine. And a lot of us think that it's just concentrated in Europe, but it's affecting us right now. Our rising fuel costs, which in turn will also increase the price of commodities as well. So that in itself is something we cannot control as an external obstacle. And of course, physical limitations. One very relevant obstacle that we've been facing is COVID. It still exists right now, but we've developed different tools and formulas to keep living, to restart and rebuild our lives again. Next slide, please. All right. So there are some ways, there are of course many ways to respond to obstacles, but I'll just give you 5 tips lang. Now, these are personal ways on how to overcome and face obstacles. So later on, I'll be talking about the professional side naman. So number 1, when you face an obstacle, it's important to realize that it exists. It won't help if we deny its existence. So number 1, be realistic. What am I facing today? How am I feeling about it? And how can I overcome it? Number 2, fix what you can. So when you're faced with multiple obstacles, fix what you can. We can't fix COVID ourselves. We can't fix the economic crisis. But what we can fix is our own personal response to it, how we deal with our employees, how we deal with our business, how we deal with our partners. Those are things that are within our control. Number 3, stay positive. I know a lot of us think it's very cliche when we say, oh, okay lang yan, stay positive. But it's very important for me as a response because you can either fear the obstacle, be angry about it, be frustrated about it, or stay positive and try to overcome it in any which way you can. Next, 4th one, be solution driven. So when faced with an obstacle, we can either play the victim, oh, why is this happening to me? Why am I faced with so many problems in my life? Or we can say, hey, this is happening to me. How am I gonna deal with it? How am I gonna move forward? How I can make the situation better? And remember, we all have control over our actions, over our response with the obstacles that we face. And lastly, keep moving forward. Never stay stuck. And I think this is just a life lesson that everybody needs to learn both in our professional and personal lives. Because when we stay stuck, if you're in a rut, why would you want to stay stuck? If you're in a rut, move forward and do everything that you can to move forward to get to a better place. Next slide, please. All right. So 4 tips for building resilience, personally and professionally. So connection is number 1. Number 1, I think the pandemic made us realize that we are social beings. We need each other, not just in our personal lives, but also in business. So when we connect to the people that we work with, we connect with our friends, our family, that just makes getting over humps in our lives much, much easier. Number 2, nurture well-being. So of course, 7 hours of sleep, exercise, practice mindfulness, eat healthy. One thing that the pandemic has brought about productivity tools like Slack, Viber, Zoom. But on the flip side also, a lot of us are getting burnt out. Like when we have Zoom meetings, sometimes patong-patong na mga meetings. So 2:30, 2:15, so we overloaded our professional lives to the point where a lot of us are getting mentally burnt out. And of course, that affects us emotionally as well. So it's important for us to realize that we cannot be productive based on the number of hours we put during the day, but our productivity level depends on our deliverables, our goals, and how much we've accomplished. So it's important to work smart, not just work hard. Of course, third, purpose. Also, I just recently learned of the word ikigai. It's a Japanese term that means finding your sense of purpose. So of course, personally, we all have our own personal dreams, our hopes, our goals. But of course, when we share our purpose with others, with our people, our employees, the people that we work with, our partners, that vision just becomes bigger and better. Healthy mind. Of course, meditate, accept what you cannot change, and always stay positive. Next slide, please. All right. This is I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to talk about Spartan racing talaga because I really am a huge fan of Spartan racing. So personal resilience, how do we build personal resilience? So it's important to remember that our response to the obstacles that we face will determine our actions. If we respond in a negative way, of course, that action will translate into anger, frustration, the victim mentality. But if we respond to it in a positive, empowering way, then our response will be, productive. Our response will be strength, courage, facing obstacles and whatever comes. Right. Next slide, please. All right. So professional resiliency involves other external factors. So when we talk about personal resilience, it's about our emotions, how we deal with our responses. But professional resilience involves our teammates, our employees. So these involve our job, our partners, our work environment, our government, and our economy. Next slide, please. All right, how do we build professional resilience? Number 1, anticipation. When you're in a business, when you're a business owner, it's important to anticipate and figure out what the long-term plan is. You can't just figure out your next year's goal, your 2-year goal, your 5-year goal. You have to think about your business's scalability and anticipate things on all ends. And when you anticipate, of course, number 2 comes preparation. So for example, we were sharing it when we were meeting with Eastern, JV was sharing that when the pandemic happened, Eastern was prepared to transition because they already equipped their employees and teammates with the tools to transition to a work from home setup. So with us naman sa Topline, we were lucky because our president and CEO, Eric, when January happened and there was the news about Wuhan and the virus, he anticipated the virus to reach us here. And he said, okay, what was the best way to deal with it where our work would not be interrupted? So by February now, we had a management meeting and we decided to empower our employees. So we set up their internet stations at home. We gave them laptops. By mid-February, we're already transitioning now. So we're doing hybrid work from home setup. So when March happened and everybody was shocked, and business slowed down, we already had that in place now. So as a business owner, I feel it's super important to anticipate anything and everything so you can prepare for that. And number three, one of the main lessons that we learned was the importance of diversification. So that's why when you look at Topline's subsidiaries, we're into port development, we're into marina, we're into technology, we're into energy. We even have a Jerry's restaurant franchise that I didn't put na lang there. But when you diversify, you're able to spread out your risk. You're also able to maximize your profitability as well. Revisit your goals. It's important to also remember to revisit your goals every month, every 6 months, every quarter, every year, because goals change, your transition points change. And so when you revisit them, you're able to look at the big picture and see what else is missing and what other opportunities exist for you and your company. And lastly, choose the right partners. This for me is one of the most important aspects. In our personal lives, we make such an effort to choose our life partners, our love partners, which also should translate to our business lives. Because when you choose the right business partners who share the same vision, who share the same goals, and are in alignment with your goal and vision as a company, then that just transcends. That vision is shared, it's multiplied, and you're able to achieve more. Which is why with Cebu Business Month, with Cebu Chamber of Commerce, we are very excited to be aligned with Eastern Communications because we believe in empowering small businesses. So we're very happy to be part of this. Next slide, please. All right, 5 tips to create a resilient team. When you're a business owner, it's important to not just think about your company as a unit, but your people who are the most important aspect of your work, of your business. So number 1, communicate. Make your workplace a safe zone. So here we have an open door policy where our employees, we have about 200 staff under us, so they can come to me or Sir Eric directly with their concerns. So of course, for minor issues, we have HR for that, our HR director, but anything else, they can come to us so they know that we're accessible. They know that we care for them. Also, create a shared goal and purpose for your team, because one vision alone, it's just yourself, but when a vision is shared, that vision is just magnified and it grows exponentially. Third, build trust and confidence. Very important that your team knows that when they express, their emotional state, mental state, that they won't be judged, that they'll be supported, not just at home, but at the workplace as well. Now, the thing is, kasi we believe that showing weakness, showing sadness is a weakness at the workplace when it should not be the case. Employees, we're all human, we're not robots. And so when we express emotionality, there should be a support system there that helps them get over that, because for me, next to our families, we spend most of our time with our workmates. Diba? Even more so, I think, because workmates, we spend time with them Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. So when you're with people constantly, it's important that you have the right groove with them. Empower your team with productivity tools, with resources. What we did also last year was we invited a motivational speaker, si Ken Lizardo, to give us monthly motivational sessions. So it was done over Zoom lang, but of course, we noticed that after that session, productivity level went up and also your motivation level went up. So there are various things, creative ways to empower your workplace. Of course, follow through and check in on your team. Next slide, please. All right, here we are. So remember when I started, I said now we should all create a formula for dealing with obstacles that come our way. Now these formulas, they're not clear cut. But for me, the best way to learn about resilience, you can't learn resilience by reading a book. You can't learn resilience by watching Google. You can't learn it by watching YouTube videos. You learn resilience by going out there into the world and facing your obstacles. And for me, one of the best ways that I got over my obstacles and I created my formula was through Spartan racing. So of course, I'm sure Jamel knows about this because she knows Gunther, who was the GM for Spartan Philippines. But for a lot of us, we ask ourselves, what is Spartan racing? So I have a very short video to share along just to get everybody aware about what Spartan racing is. All right. There. So that's a very short video about Spartan racing, but that's one of the reasons why I love being a Spartan athlete, because as you can see, there's different obstacles that we face, but being a Spartan athlete literally forces you to face these obstacles. And I think that makes us stronger people. All right, next slide, please. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So to end my talk, I want to end it with a Spartan quote. So obstacles are put in our way to see if what we want is really worth fighting for. So it's up to us to respond to our obstacles in a positive way or negative way. So the choice is up to you. Next slide, please. So there will be obstacles, there will be doubters, there will be mistakes, but with hard work, there will be success. So it's important for us to remember that to expect to live our lives without obstacle, it's impossible. What we need to learn is to develop the formula to make ourselves stronger so that we can overcome every obstacle we face. So when we think of the word obstacle, our immediate response is fear, right? So we should think of fear as either fear everything and run or face everything and rise. So that ends my talk for today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you. My name is Brigitte Lim.
Thank you so much, Miss Brigitte Lim-Mueller. A big round of virtual applause, please, mga ka-Eastern. Ma'am, thank you so much for sharing with us your personal and professional ventures and also providing us with, the realistic and smart ways to respond to internal, external, the professional and the personal factors that affects all of us, especially our well-being and of course our personal economy. Once again, thank you so much, Miss Brigitte Lim-Mueller. And now, mga ka-Eastern, while Miss Brigitte was sharing, we hope that you also got the chance to participate in our trivia questions currently happening in our chat box. Now, if you did, you will get a chance to win 500 peso worth of vouchers from Giftaway. And our winners will be announced in the chat. So make sure, again, that your username is easily identifiable and readable. And it is the same name you used when you registered for our e-huddle today. And of course, let's keep the sweet treats from flowing. All right. So now, mga ka-Eastern, get ready for the first raffle draw announcement. And now, the moment that you signed in for our e-huddle automatically earns you a chance to win one of our raffle prizes. So keep your eyes on the screen once we flash the names of the winners. And when you see your name flashed on screen, make sure to take a screenshot or take a picture of it and send it to us at marketing@etpi.com.ph with the subject line Eastern e-huddle May 19, 2022 raffle. And please, mga ka-Eastern, do not forget to include your information like your full name, your company address, and of course, your contact number. Woohoo! All right, this is getting exciting. So I won't keep you waiting, mga ka-Eastern. Right now, we will be picking 2 lucky e-huddle participants who will be taking home 2,000 peso worth of e-gift certificates, each from Giftaway. Wow, I know you guys are super excited for this one. So now, let us announce our first winner. Congratulations to our first minor raffle winner, Sir Ronnie De Leon. Wow, sir, you are now a proud owner or winner of our e-gift certificate from Giftaway worth 2,000 pesos. Mga ka-Eastern, let's keep our energy high because we will be announcing our second minor raffle prize winner. Sino kaya ang who will be joining Sir Ronnie for this one? So let's see now. Congratulations, Miss Jen Ricalde. You are joining Sir Ronnie De Leon. You are our second minor raffle winner of our 2,000 peso worth of e-gift voucher from Giftaway. Woohoo! All right, a big congratulations to all of our winners. Now you have more reason to smile this afternoon. So for all of our dear Easterns who hasn't been called yet, stay tuned for the next part of our webinar because we will be holding another raffle announcement later on. Okay, so this time around, mga ka-Eastern, let's, kind of push the excitement of the raffle for a while, just for a while. Okay, our next speaker will be taking us back to the basics as well as the complexities of adapting to the new business environment. Our speaker is the Strategic Segment Marketing Manager for ROG and Wholesale at Eastern Communications. Here to talk about future-proofing through empathy, please welcome Mr. JV Suarez.
Thank you for the kind words, Apple. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is JV Suarez, Strategic Marketing Manager of Eastern Communications. Today, I have been given the task of discussing the topic of technology, collaboration, and empathy in the post-COVID-19 era. So to really understand empathy and how we can collaborate better through technology, we need to ask a difficult question. How stressed are we really nowadays? I realize that many of you have heard more than enough about the pandemic, but let's just take a quick look on how it really affected us. The National Center for Mental Health showed that pre-pandemic, it would receive an average of 876 calls in the Philippines alone. But after a few months of lockdown and uncertainty, this ballooned to over 500% with over 5,000 calls a month. Of these calls, 16% suffered from stress. I remember when I used to work in the earlier years of my career, which was almost 20 years ago. Stress lang yan. You can't say that anymore. And you can't simply discount stress that easily. We've learned from our mistakes and know that stress is a bigger problem than before. 31% suffered from anxiety. This continues to be more and more normal nowadays. Sadly, 22% had depression. And after 2 years of lockdown, the numbers have likely further increased. On top of that, research shows that millennials, who are a primary workforce for a lot of companies, are 2 times more likely to experience severe stress, while being 1.8 times more likely to be affected by severe anxiety. The question also begs now, what about those who are returning to work? A lot of us are reporting to a hybrid setup. Quite a few are already coming back full-time. A survey showed that those who partook of it and are going back to the office physically, 46% showed negative effects that took a toll against their mental health. A lot has happened in a short span of 2 years. Physically reporting to work before was a non-question. It wasn't optional and there was no alternative a few years back. Now that the secret of working from home or remotely has been released to the entire world, it's likely here to stay. As the secret was released and everyone has found out that working from home does work, and despite the many challenges of working remotely, as I mentioned earlier, it's more than likely to change the face of work, quite literally forever. Work from home, hybrid, or whatever you'd like to call it, is here to stay. Now, work from home is not without problems, but we will get into that a bit more later. There are undeniable benefits for not only the employees, but also for the company. For employees, the reduction in expenses is quite notable, while the reduced travel time, especially for us in the Philippines, is quite positive after effect. No more 2-hour travel back and forth. The tiring sigh you get when you get home from work is finally gone. Now, positions are available to those who are qualified without question of if you're willing to travel, a purely objective hiring. Another benefit that was seen during the pandemic was increased productivity and reduced absenteeism. For companies, reduction in office space and utilities was rather apparent. And much like what I mentioned earlier, the talent pool grew bigger with people being offered positions that could be done remotely now. Let's not forget about the customers. For customers, the expanded talent pool affects them too, as now they get the best of the best, not the best of Barangay X only. And let's be honest, the environment needed the break from all the cars on the road as well. Now let's take a quick look at the most common setup nowadays, the hybrid setup. With a very careful hand and a cautious setup, many of our companies have started a hybrid setup where we spend some time in the office and some time working remotely. This has become a rather common setup for many of us, and while we did see that there were some negative results mixed in, there are still a number of employees who are excited for this option. There are those who are ready to go physically back to work. Some may feel that coordination is easier when it's face-to-face, and as many of us realize, we need human connections and need it quick. Working in office welcomes practical time in and out, whereas work from home can be continuous and unending, as some have experienced. For those who don't have strong collaboration tools, access to customers, and business affiliates, they crave a stronger and faster internet back in the office. Despite these challenges, it is important to ease their return to work as part of our future proofing. After all, this is likely to continue to the near future. Making them feel safe at their station is a must. Coming back to the office can be a daunting task. But if you have to worry about getting sick, it would be impossible to report physically to the office. And the only way to make them feel comfortable is by focusing on the occupant. You have to know what is effective in mitigating the threat of infection. Read up, study up, and use the best practices. You have to make them feel comfortable in their workspace. Social distancing is a must, but will only work if they love their own work spot. In these trying times, communications is more important than ever. Take the time to explain with care why measures and safety guidelines are a must. You may sound like a broken record or a busted song, but they'll thank you for it in the long run. As I mentioned earlier, communications is a must, and to communicate, it goes both ways. So you need to learn to be able to get and welcome feedback. Assign a point person for guidelines and safety measures. This person will be your champion moving forward. And if you want your communications to succeed, you need to be more visible and accessible than ever, with social distancing measures, of course. Again, to be effective at communicating, you'll need to be sensitive to the anxiety of your team. Know their comfort level and work with it. There will be adjustments, but if you communicate it properly, this should not be a challenge for you. Use technology. The pandemic has put technology on a super speed highway, and we must make use of it. Find ways to use technology to your advantage. And finally, keep communicating safety reminders and measures that are being done to keep everyone safe. These are just some of the basic things you can do to make the transition easier for your employees to go back to work. Now that we've touched base on how we can improve the experience of hybrid or going back to work, let's flip it over and look at the challenges in hybrid once again, but the work from home aspect. Well, to be honest, this is more of a work from home for an extended period. Some challenges we may have experienced during the last 2 years and should still pay particular attention to. Difficulties in collaborating, communicating. It's a little different when we work from home, no office cooler or pantry to catch up, or just to quickly discuss things with your colleagues. Loneliness. I think we can all admit to this when those first few months started. I have a family at home, so it wasn't so bad, but I did crave someone new to talk to every so often. Being unable to unplug. Many of us are guilty of this. By working longer and more while we are working from home, we feel like we are making up just for staying at home. We just don't know when to stop. Many midnight oils were left burning, and I am guilty of this quite a number of times. Given the changes, coordinating with people who are working from home working physically in the office, and maybe some off-location. Workation, anyone? Communicating and collaborating could be a challenge. Sharing information in a timely manner could be a challenge. But thanks to the advent of productivity and collaboration tools, of course, I'm talking about cloud-based applications that can allow for smooth, secure communication and collaboration, even if we are at different places all over the world. Well, for now, maybe Philippines, I suppose, but just for now. Now on to the next challenge, loneliness. This could lead to even more mental health challenges. Depression, anxiety, of course, stress again. The list could go on. But being isolated for long periods of time could amplify the loneliness. I can't imagine being in a studio all alone and not leaving for months at a time because of the pandemic. Thankfully, technology has gotten further and further, from games to webinars that can support the mental strength of your employees, making them even more resilient than ever. You need to engage your employees, find creative ways to do team buildings, or just have fun online. This will help break the loneliness and help the employees cope with the long distance work. My wife has a company that is purely remote. They insist on having an employee engagement every Friday to make sure that the employees are happy and engaged. Last but not least, gosh, I'm so guilty of this. When you've worked from home for quite a bit, you tend to build up guilt thinking you haven't done enough. So you tend to overcompensate and work, work, work. It becomes a habit, and then an hour or two of overtime. The next thing you know, you're working well into the evening without being asked to, or even need to in some cases. To really better manage yourself, use the right tools to manage your needs. A calendar to control your meetings, emails to control communications that need to be tracked, a chat function for immediate and quick responses from your teammates. Finding the right channel at the right time will help you focus and plan things out better. Respect your time and others. Learn to set boundaries, not only for how you work with others, but for yourself too. You'll find that you'll be working smarter, not harder in most cases. So allow me to quickly summarize all of that for you. You need to be able to answer the challenges from work from home. And that's simply done by these three actions: collaborate, engage, and prioritize. Achieve these simple steps, and you will see great changes in your overall experience with hybrid and work from home. Our work lives have changed forever. Only those who don't adjust and move forward will be the companies left in the dust. From here on out, you can decide the path you want, stay unchanged and likely challenged moving forward, or emerge stronger together with your employees. The choice is yours. Back to you, Apple.
Thank you so much, Sir JV Suarez, for sharing with the rest of our Ka-Easterns the best practices in future-proofing our businesses through empathy. A big round of virtual applause, mga Ka-Eastern, for our very own Sir JV Suarez. And now, mga Ka-Eastern, I think our speakers are ready to entertain your questions. So may I now call on Miss Brigitte Lim-Mueller and Sir JV Suarez to join me in our virtual stage or screen. And of course, while they're doing that, oh, they're here. Okay, mga Ka-Eastern, you still have time to please type in your questions now. Okay, so hello, Miss Brigitte. Hello, Sir JV. How are you doing this afternoon, Miss Bridge?
Hey, Apple. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm doing great, doing great. Really informative presentation, JV. Really great.
Thank you, Miss Bridget. What about you, Sir JV?
You. Doing great as well. Happy to be here. Bridget, thanks for that presentation. I really love the quotes and I love the personal touch. And Apple, thanks again for asking.
Thank you, Sir JV. Of course, we are in the Q&A segment of our program, and you know what's going to happen, right? I'll be picking questions from our fellow Ka-Eastern watching us right now, and you guys will be the one answering. All right. So we have one general question. So I'll be asking you. You both will be answering this one. So we will be hearing first from Miss Bridge. So this is the question from one of our fellow Ka-Eastern. Okay, this is the question. How can my company be even more resilient in the now normal? And what are the top three traits of being a resilient company? Miss Bridge?
Thank you for that very important question. So depends on the size of your company, right? Because sometimes when a company is small, then sometimes it's easier to adjust. But I guess in the general sense, number one, it's really your ability to adjust to different changes. So your response time. Number two, scalability, right? So when I was talking about resilience, one obstacle at a time, it's about building your company, not just in the short term, but in the long term. And number three, make use of all the productivity tools available. Like we have to work smart and work hard. That way, with that combination, that's a lethal force, to bring your company to next level productivity. Thank you for that question.
Thank you, Miss Bridget. And now we're going to hear it from Sir JV. So I'll be throwing in the same question, sir. How can my company be even more resilient in the now normal? And what are the top three traits of being a resilient company?
Okay, is everything better? I, I was told my audio wasn't going so well.
Yes, Sir JV. Can you repeat your answer, sir, please?
An audio problem.
Oh, yeah.
1 second.
Oh, sure, sir. Okay, I will be moving on with the next question and I will be getting back to you, Sir JV, okay? Don't you worry. Okay, so the first question, specific question for Miss Brigitte Lim-Mueller from one of our fellow Ka-Eastern. Ma'am, here it is. Okay, so as an athlete, a mother, and an executive, what sort of daily routine do you go through to prepare you for the day? Is there anything you need to do to be, extra resilient for the day? Do you meditate? You do yoga? Please share it with us, Miss Bridge.
Thank you for that question, Apple. So to start my day, I always like waking up before 6 a.m. So I like getting an early start. And my workout, I dedicate an hour to fitness. So I work out either first thing in the morning or after my work sessions. Then I work out either first or last thing. Beyond that, I think it's really about time management, preparation. So by Sunday, I already have 70% of my week planned out. That way I can plan my deliverables, my tasks for the whole week. And if I can, I have my whole month plotted out already. So I think yung mga what we used to do with school, now we crammed a lot. Yung mga last minute na mga so it doesn't work in real life anymore. Right now, we really need to prepare because when we prepare, we're able to be more productive. So I think yun. So what I do is I prepare myself not just for the day but for the week, the month, and then I envision the goals that I want to accomplish for the day and for the week too. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Miss Brigitte Lim-Mueller. I agree, ma'am. Being a parent myself, and also, I work in the real estate, so it's really important to, prepare for the week ahead, so you can do all things. Yeah.
No cramming.
Even more efficiently. And yes, cramming is, those were the days, college, high school days. It doesn't work here anymore. Thank you once again, Ms. Bridge. And I hope that our fellow Ka-Eastern who asked that question is happy to hear Ms. Brigitte Lim-Mueller's answer. And now we're going to be moving on to our first question for Sir JV. But Sir JV, I hope your audio is working better now. Can we check?
That's better.
All right, great, sir. Before I move on to the specific question that our fellow Ka-Eastern wants to hear from you, okay, I just want to ask you again the general question. Okay, how can my company be even more resilient in the now normal? And what are the top three traits of being a resilient company?
Thank you for the question. I don't think it's three traits, but these are some of the more traits that we've noticed in companies that were able to resiliently go through the pandemic and still grow and become even bigger now. First, they are normally very employee oriented. If you don't take care of your team internally, they'll be unhappy. If they are unhappy, it can reflect on their work, and and if it reflects on their work, it will be obvious to the client. In turn, you'll get unhappy clients, and you'll get unhappy clients. You'll have a business. So make sure to take care of your employees, and they will in turn take care of your company. Second, they're able to adapt. Adaptability and flexibility is a must nowadays. If you are able to adjust to situations, you may be faced with an even more difficult one in the future. Remain flexible. It will help you and your company in the long run. And third, but not least, they are technology adapters. I'm not saying to use every solution out there, but you should at the very least know what is available in the market. As I mentioned during my presentation, the pandemic has placed technology on the fast track of development, and we are benefiting from it. Don't let it overwhelm you. Use it to your advantage and make sure your team is comfortable with the changes.
Thank you, Sir JV. So what I made out from your answer is it's always about resiliency and of course partnering up with the right solutions provider partner, right? Okay, so once again, maraming salamat, Sir JV, but I will not let you go yet. You have a specific question from our fellow Ka-Eastern. So here it is, sir. What solution do you recommend to help collaborate during hybrid setup?
Let me just think about that for a second. Okay, this is an easy and difficult question, to be honest. It's easy because for us, we work quite well with Office 365. And by being able to use many features of this collaboration tool, we can work from home, we can work from office, pretty much we can work from anywhere. What makes this question a little bit difficult is that there's no one size fits all solution or solutions in some cases. For all the challenges that is brought about by the hybrid setup, your company could very much have the same challenges as ours. Maybe you're more in need of monitoring your team, so something along the lines of teleworker gateway that usually works wonders for BPO businesses. The list could go on, really. I personally believe if it feels like you have more challenges, it is best to reach out to an expert. I invite you to take the first step. Talk to our local AM, account manager, and let him or her know your challenges and pain points. They just have the right solutions that can help make your life a whole lot easier.
Thank you so much, Sir JV. And to reiterate, sir, what you said, like I agree with you. This is both an easy and a hard question at the same time. So, like what we believe in here in Eastern Communications, there is no one cookie cutter solution to all of the problems and challenges that our business owners have, right? That's why we have high tech and high touch solutions that they can always ask about. They can just send us a message about it, and our managers, account managers, will be the one to keep in touch with them if they want to learn more about the services and solutions that Eastern Communications offer. Again, maraming salamat, Sir JV Suarez. Now, we're going to be moving on to the next question, and this one is a question for you, Miss Brigitte. Okay, so here it is, ma'am. Okay, with such a diverse company that you have, is there any industry that you have noticed was particularly resilient, or was there one that stood out, and why?
I think the commodities industry, they were able to survive throughout the pandemic. So fuel, water, manufacturing was also able to survive the pandemic. Construction slowed down a little bit, but there were also some developments that kept going, although the timelines moved na delay sila. But overall, like for me, those were the industries that were able to be resilient. The ones that were hit the most were anything that involved tourism talaga. So restaurants, hotels, resorts. So, but we're glad to see them making a comeback right now. So we're very happy that the economy is restarting now.
Thank you, Miss Bridget. All right, so now for I believe this is the last question that we have for our speakers, and this one is for Sir JV. Sir JV, are you ready? Okay, this is a question from our fellow Ka-Eastern. Sir, how do I keep my people engaged while online? So mental health has been hounding my employees, but it just got worse after the lockdown.
Thank you again for this question. Let me just say, it's really one of the challenges of mental health.
All right. Sir JV, I'm sorry to cut you, sir. I really want to hear your voice right now, but I think Miss Bridget would like to take this question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Apple. I was reading another question from the team. Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
All right. So, okay, we'll just wait for Sir JV's audio to go smoothly. And now, Miss Bridge, okay, can you help Sir JV out with this one? So the question from your point of view, okay? So how do, a question from our Ka-Eastern is this one. How do I keep my people engaged while online? We all know that mental health has been hounding my employees, but it just gotten worse after the lockdown.
That's a very relevant question. I think one of the things that we really learned to use throughout the pandemic was the power of Zoom, right? But then the thing is, we also expect our employees to be equally productive when having all these Zoom meetings within 15 minutes of each other. So we expect a lot from them, not actually minding that there's also a burnt out, the burnout rate is faster. So I think as employers, we should remember now, we should still pace expectations, we should pace our goals that we set for our employees. And number two, also check in with them, like I said, we are human, we're not robots. And so we need to use our productivity tools, but also in a sensible way as well. And so one of the things we do when we have our Zoom sessions to make sure our employees are engaged and the teammates too, is we have them turn on their videos, right? So they can interact more. Because when we turn off our videos, we're not sure what we're doing. Are they interacting? So when they turn on their videos, they end up becoming more engaged into the conversation.
Yes, I agree with you, Miss Bridget. Thank you so much for answering the question from our fellow Ka-Eastern. Okay, one last question for you, Miss Bridget. All right, I hope you're still available to answer this one.
Yes, Apple, of course.
All right. Okay, so this one is from our fellow Ka-Eastern. Okay, in resilience for a team, where and what part is the champion or the leader?
I don't quite understand the question. What part is the leader? Like, how does the leader show resilience?
Okay, let me rephrase this. For a team to be resilient, what part does a leader or a champion has to provide, or maybe anything to motivate the people in the team?
Yeah, well, the leader is the focal point of it, right? The leader, the captain of the ship, right? So the leader has to be able to practice what he or she preaches, also check in with their teammates. Because if I'm the leader, kunyari, and then I say, hey, everybody be positive, but then I'm exhibiting, negative emotions, negative responses, and that'll cascade to my team. So definitely it starts with the leaders of the company, and not just the CEO, but the top tier management team. Now they should serve as the examples of resilience and productivity. And it goes both ways. It's a give and take. It's not one way. So when you are able to create an atmosphere where there's a two-way street in terms of positivity and the values of productivity, then I think that makes for a very strong and resilient team.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bridget, for sharing with us your input on this one. And I believe, ma'am, yes, leading by example. All right, maraming salamat po sa ating mga speakers for today, Ms. Brigitte Lim-Mueller, and of course, our very own Sir JV Suarez. So before I let our speakers chill for a little while, our mga Ka-Eastern wants to hear your parting messages for all of us here in our e-huddle. So we'll be hearing it first from Ms. Brigitte. Hi, ma'am.
Hello again, Apple. So in in some, we have different ways with dealing with the obstacles that come our way, whether it's professional or personal. So for me lang, just find your formula. Find your formula that whatever obstacles that you face, you'll be able to go through them, overcome them. And also remember that you're not alone. Reach out to family, friends, reach out to your partners, because we're all going through this together. And when we go together, then we become stronger. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, Sir JV. I hope your audio,
Yeah.
sir, anything you want to say for our Eastern?
Absolutely. Obstacles come and go. Just experienced a technical obstacle just right now. But, stay positive. Just like the title says, reimagine being resilient. Just being resilient is not enough. You got to think of it positive. Resilience isn't something that you get after something bad happens. Resilience is something you already have. So think positive. Always keep your head high and keep your people with you. Stay strong, everyone. I know it's been a tough few years, but things are going to look up, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Brigitte Lim-Mueller, and of course, Sir JV Suarez. A big round of virtual applause for our speakers, mga fellow ka-Easterns. All right, so that was indeed a very insightful discussion, and we hope our dear audience, you guys learned as much as I did, and I hope you were also taking notes like what I did. All right. Okay, so right now, our dear friends, partners, and ka-Eastern watching us right now, your feedback matters to us. So please do take the time to answer our survey through the QR code that we will be flashing right now on your screen. So once you fill out the survey form, 50 lucky winners will get a special token from Eastern Communications. Wow, our Eastern Communications e-huddle. Reimagining Resilience is a gift that keeps on giving, mga ka-Eastern. And right now, okay, as promised, we will be drawing the winner for our major prize raffle. Woohoo! Okay, so again, quick reminder, the winner should take a screenshot or a picture of the winner announcement with your name on it. And please do not forget to send it to us at marketing@etpi.com.ph with the subject line Eastern E-Huddle May 19, 2022 raffle. And please mga ka-Eastern, ito wag niyong kakalimutan, very crucial. Do not forget to include your information like your full name, your company name, your company address, and your contact numbers. Woohoo! All right. So are you all ready to find out who our major raffle prize winner is for today? Yes, I want to see you commenting in the comments chat box. Mga ka-Eastern, you can comment a lot of exclamation points, or you can actually claim this prize. Okay, let's manifest this one. You can type in mine, or me. I want that prize. All right. Okay, so there, a lot of you are typing now. We'll keep you waiting. The winner who will get an e-gift certificate worth 3,000 pesos from Giftaway is none other than Mr. Philip Abamonga. Big congratulations to you, sir. You are our biggest winner for today. And again, congratulations to our first two minor raffle winners. And now, of course, Sir Philip, congratulations, sir. You have now 3,000 peso more to spend on the things that you love this weekend. Again, congratulations to all of you. All right, mga ka-Eastern, that is it for now. Our e-huddle Reimagining Resilience has come to an end just for today. We will be seeing you again next month, but before you go, please do take the time to again answer our feedback form. So once again, we will be flashing our QR code and just scan that one. And once you fill out the survey form, 50 lucky winners will get a special prize or token from Eastern Communications. All right, I hope you were able to catch that one, mga ka-Eastern. We appreciate your time you spent with us, and it's been great and a great pleasure for me to be your host today. Once again, my name is Apple Grace Mendoza, and I'll be bidding you goodbye for now, and see you on the next one. Bye.